When a woman only cares about her feelings, no one is safe. A mom cuts her family ties
John!
in the most brutal way.
But it didn't stop, they just kept at it. And they kept at it for hours.
A complicated love life
Louise Bergen.
becomes too hot to handle.
The press dubbed it the torch slaying, and so she became the torch slayer.
I look forward to seeing you.
And an ex-girlfriend returns a favor with a bloodbath.
Like this is some Vincent Price B horror movie.
These deadly women show no empathy for others. When they become killers, it is without conscience.
I love John.
A mother exposes her heartbreak to the world.
Anyone who's got any information at all.
She begs for help to solve a horrific crime.
It was a shocking crime, and the community was appalled by the details.
Can you tell us what happened?
The cruelty of it was such that I haven't seen anything like this.
Nowra, a picturesque town on Australia's east coast. A quiet, relaxed community. But not in this household. In 1993, young parents, Gun Britt and Brian Ashfield's home is chaotic.
Gun Britt had 5 children between the ages of 3 and 8. That was stressful enough.
Their relationship is rocky, and they are broke.
They lived in a welfare house, a house provided by the government, and they lived on welfare benefits. There wasn't a lot of money around.
The frustration is building.
Stupid kid!
What are you doing? What? How can you just hit him like that? You think it's all right if I hit you?
He's not.
No, it's not. It's an accident.
I hit 6.
The marriage soon falls apart.
No, you can't hit a kid. It's wrong.
Brian walks out, but is worried about leaving his children with the fiery Gun Britt.
He knew what kind of violence she had in it.
Brian's frustrated sister, Annette Ashfield, witnessed Gun Britt's treatment of her children.
Gunbrick used to just slap him across the back of the head, grab him by the hair, push him or kick him. She just doesn't know how to stop.
So the other day, I'm at home and I'm playing football. Mate.
Brian is so concerned. He goes to the child welfare authorities.
The glass breaks, and so Gunbrick, she just loses it. You see what's going on? What I mean? She just loses it, and she starts hitting.
Brian warned Children's Services that his ex-wife wasn't taking care of the kids. They didn't listen to him.
I need you to get my kids from my house. They're being beaten.
Probably thought it was just divorce squabbling.
What are you doing about the situation? You look, I'm out of here.
Child Services doesn't think Brian is a better option. He has a history of drug abuse. But Gun Britt is on the Child Services watch list. Officials pay regular visits.
What do you want this time?
We've had another complaint.
Another complaint. Who is it this time? Huh? Did someone have an infamy or something?
Welfare Services had been to this house something like 30 times. The fact that the children were being abused and neglected was not a secret to anyone.
Do you mind if I see the kids, just to see if they're okay?
My kids are fine. There's nothing wrong with my kids.
Okay. Well, how about we sit down and have a little chat then?
Yeah, fine.
Okay, good.
Gunbrit told a community service worker that she felt violent toward the children and they should be taken away. They should have listened. In the 40 years I've been working in this field, I've never had a patient say to me, "I'm feeling violent toward my children, they should be removed." That's how rare it is.
Child welfare is a complex issue. Officials are reluctant to take children from their mother. And soon, there is another man in the children's lives. 20-year-old Austin Hughes.
What do you think? To be a dad to the kid? Really?
6 weeks after meeting Gunbrit, he moves in.
There was alcohol in the house. She was addicted to various prescription drugs. They both smoked like chimneys, and they lived on welfare benefits.
You're the best thing that's happened to me, you know?
A 20-year-old would have difficulty adjusting to just one child, their own child. That's a lot of stress. But 5 children that are not even your own? Very difficult. That was a recipe for disaster.
Austin comes with his own problems. He's a victim of abuse as a child and is sensitive to the signs.
Gun! Gun, get in here!
A pair of underpants was found on the floor with a stain that might have been blood. Could have been something else, but it might have been blood.
Melissa's been abused.
What do you mean?
Your kid, John, has been abusing Melissa.
The underpants belonged to Melissa.
I knew that kid was trouble.
I think the ordinary person would look at that and just think that it's ridiculous.
Although it's not true. On August 4th, 1993, when little John comes home from school, he has no idea of the storm he's walking into. In the small town of Nowra, south of Sydney, Australia, 25-year-old Gunbrit Ashfield is struggling to cope with 5 young children,
What are you doing?
a divorce, and alcohol. She thinks her new young live-in lover, 20-year-old Austin Hughes, will make life better. On August 4th, 1993, the household is in turmoil. One child is the focus of Gunbrit's anger.
Your kid, John.
No, you can't get away with this. I'm gonna teach him a lesson.
Of all the 5 children, 6-year-old John was the one targeted by his mother and her boyfriend, Austin,
I mean, he's got to be punished.
for abuse.
John! What did you do to Melissa?
They falsely accuse 6-year-old John of molesting his 3-year-old sister.
These people had in mind that John was touching Melissa inappropriately and that if they didn't stop him, he was going to grow up to be a predator himself.
Hurt your little sister? Huh?
They found a phone book was 750 pages thick. And they put the phone book against John's head and hit it with a hammer.
How do you like it, huh?
Some of John's siblings are forced to watch.
You dirty little boy.
I can only imagine him screaming for help. No one there to help him.
They had taken down the curtain rod. They had beaten John with it, so much so that the metal had bent.
He was saying, "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry."
But it didn't stop, they just kept at it, and they kept at it for hours.
Ah, come on, stop crying like a little girl.
Johnny's beaten, unconscious. But now the attackers panic. They try to revive him.
What they did first was they put him in a bath. And they ran the cold taps on him in an effort to try and bring him around. And when that didn't work, they ran the scalding hot taps on him. And he still didn't come around. And they still didn't do anything.
Little Johnny is now in a coma. But Gun Britt and Austin don't call the paramedics. They decide to take him to the hospital. But first, they need to invent their alibi.
Someone asks you, you tell them that John got bashed by some kids in a park. Okay? Do you understand?
The idea that they could leave him lying there, dying, while they tried to figure out a story, I think makes the crime even more horrific.
You know what's going to happen if you say anything, don't you?
Do you understand?
The child witnesses are told to lie as their little brother is carried into the ER. But it's too late. Less than 24 hours later, John dies.
He had more than 100 bruises to his body, and many of his bones were broken. But what was also apparent was that John had been beaten before.
Before authorities get a chance to investigate,
Can you tell us what happened?
the killers go public to sell their story.
My boy, God.
They hold a media conference.
He was brutally bashed when he was walking through a park on Friday.
Yes, I remember watching the media conference on the local news on that particular evening. And I remember how upset she appeared. She was almost stricken with grief.
And they cried over this little boy and what a tragedy it was and how much they loved him.
You loved him very much.
Yeah, I loved him very much.
And it was all a terrible lie.
Bad acting doesn't trump routine police work. Investigators soon discover Gun Britt's history of abuse.
What do you want this time?
Unfortunately, in this case, there were so many warning signs that you have to wonder how anyone missed it.
When police search John's room, they find proof his killers were no strangers.
Blood in the house, the bent curtain rod under the bed, the hammer. It becomes obvious that they're lying.
Facing murder charges, Gun Britt and Austin blame each other and then claim John brought it on himself.
There was no evidence at all that John had ever touched Melissa in an inappropriate way.
I think John could have accidentally spilled his milk at breakfast and suffered the same fate. Gun Britt wanted to kill her son.
Both are convicted of murder and sentenced to 19 years. Many believe John was killed because he reminded Gun Britt of her husband, Brian.
She hated John because he's so much like Brian. John was the cute, cheeky little boy. It was like Brian's shadow.
Brian never gets to see his shadow again. Nor do his traumatized siblings. 18 years later, Gun Britt becomes a free woman. But her release is on strict conditions. She can never contact her children or visit the grave of little John.
It's a shock to us as human beings that the lives of children should be cut short, and in particular that they will be cut short by those who are supposed to love them.
To hide her evil past, Gun Britt changes her name to Angelic.
Gun Britt murdered her 6-year-old son because she's a sadistic sociopath.
When you're skilled in the feminine arts,
There will be no man who's able to resist you.
catching a man is easy.
She had to have a man in her life.
Holding on to him can be the burning issue.
She poured gasoline on it and lit it.
Cincinnati in 1958.
Fine, sir. Would you like to have a top?
Sure.
Mother of 4, Edith Klump is working as hard as she can to make ends meet.
Where are you going? Wow. Very fun.
In addition to being waitress, she was very busy doing childcare in her home, teaching adult sewing classes at one of the local high schools.
But it's not her diligent ways Edith is best known for.
Hey, who's this, gentlemen?
It's her scandalous life.
Nice to meet you, Bill.
By 40, she's divorced twice and indulges in several affairs.
Black for me.
No cream?
No cream.
Highly immoral behavior for the times.
Of course not. You're sweet enough as you are. I'll be back in just a second.
Just anywhere to be divorced, in that time was kind of frowned upon, but in Cincinnati, I think it was even more so.
Here you go. So tell me, Bill, what do you do?
A pilot.
As well.
Edith liked men. She liked to marry them. She liked to divorce them.
Would you like to come flying sometime?
I would love to come flying with you.
She especially liked men that were married to other women.
I love flying.
Edith falls for another married man, customer Bill Bergen.
She was man crazy. She had to have a man in her life.
And next time you want to go flying, call me.
I will do that. Yeah, thank you.
Such is Edith's charm. 3 months after they meet, Bill leaves his wife and moves in with Edith. But she still has a problem. Her ex-husband, Robert, He wants to split the house in the divorce settlement. And she can't afford to buy him out.
You've got 3 children. What would you do? Throw us out onto the street?
Whose name is on the contract?
Oh, you know that's not fair.
Get a bank loan.
You know very
She wanted to keep the house, and she needed to get a loan in order to pay off her ex-husband.
But in the 1950s, single moms don't get bank loans. Edith convinces her lover, Bill, to pretend to be her husband so she can get the loan in his name.
We need to really impress this banker. So if you sign there.
So, posing as a married couple with his income and her income as well, they applied for this loan.
Edith's plan works perfectly. As Mrs. Bergen, she gets the loan and saves her house.
No, future?
But there is still one obstacle. The real Mrs. Bergen, 32-year-old Louise.
Hello? Louise Bergen. Hello, Louise.
Yes, I was wondering if you wanted to get together today to have a conversation.
If you want
She discovers the ruse
Today, if you can.
and wants to meet
See you in 10.
face to face. Edith fears she could lose everything.
Next time you want to go flying,
40-year-old Edith Klump
call me.
plays fast and loose in straight-laced Cincinnati.
I could talk about the wedding and the honeymoon.
To get a bank loan, she pretends to be married.
And about our plans for the future, yeah?
But she now fears Bill's real wife, Louise, will expose her fraud. October 30th, 1958. The two women go for a drive to talk things out. They end up at an isolated park. But Edith isn't in the mood for a chat.
I don't know what to say either. Because
What are you doing?
Edith, please.
You don't take a gun when you're going to just talk to someone unless you want the gun to do the talking.
Edith, please. Please.
The gun went off right underneath Louise's neck.
Love triangles can be very dangerous for any of the three parties. In this case, it was dangerous for the most innocent party, Louise.
Busy Edith doesn't let murder interrupt her daily routine.
Sorry, ladies, I got held up. Good evening.
She had a class to teach that night,
Tonight, the perfect cocktail dress.
an adult sewing class. She was 15 minutes late for that.
Now, if you open up your patterns, you'll
That
find
night, as she teaches her sewing class, she takes Louise's body with her.
The students in the class said that she seemed perfectly normal.
no man is going to be able to resist you wearing what I've chosen.
The fact that Edith could kill Louise, put her body in the trunk, and then go teach how to make a perfect slip stitch tells me that Edith was a cold-blooded murderer. It didn't bother her a bit.
The next morning, there is one more job the expert seamstress needs to finish. Body disposal.
She drove up to Lake Cowan, found a secluded place by the side of the road, dragged the body out of the car.
Then she put gasoline all over it.
And lit it.
Chances are Edith tried to burn Louise's body to get rid of evidence. The truth of the matter is, it's very difficult to burn a body to a point where it's completely consumed. In fact, it's impossible.
The charred remains are found the next day. They match the description of Louise, who has been reported missing by her family. They also tell police about Bill's relationship with Edith. The lovers are interrogated.
He passed a lie detector test, so they started talking to her. And when they brought her in and gave her a lie detector test, they said that the results of the test indicated that she knew something about the killing of Louise Birkin.
Confronted with the lie detector results, Edith breaks down and confesses, but says it was self-defense. No one believes her story. She stands trial for first-degree murder.
The trial of Edith Klump was really the spectacle of the summer of 1959 in Cincinnati. It was headlines in all of the papers, and everybody was clamoring to get a seat.
So if you sign there.
Prosecutors claim she killed to cover up her fraudulent signature on the bank forms.
I don't think this murder had anything to do with being afraid she'd be caught trying to scam the bank. I think she wanted Louise gone.
On July 2nd, 1959, Edith is convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to death.
That was very unusual for a woman at the time. There had only been 3 women executed at the time.
But Edith finds one sympathetic and powerful ear: the governor of Ohio. He commutes her death sentence to life, and she is paroled after 12 years. But Bill's not waiting for her. He moves out of the state and starts a new life.
She actually got out of jail in 1971, and she lived a very quiet life afterwards. So I think she did learn a lesson, which is good.
Edith Klump passed away in 1999, aged 81.
This was a very shocking crime. People saw Edith as a sweet and simple housewife, but she was much more complex than that. She was a cold-blooded killer.
A woman can have the right looks.
She's involved in that fast life of drugs and hungry men.
And the right moves.
Very, very sexy.
But all the wrong intentions.
I look forward to seeing you later.
She wanted to vent the rage she had for every other man in her life that had disappointed her.
In Philadelphia in 1992. 25-year-old Kelly O'Donnell makes her living bearing all as a dancer. But her confident persona masks a lifetime of heartbreak. Her father walks out on her family when she is 6. Just months later, a tragic accident kills her mother.
Her mother died in a house fire, and Kelly was there, and she suffered burns. That's a lot of psychological and physical trauma for a 6-year-old girl.
Adulthood isn't any kinder. Kelly loses her husband and father of her 3 children in a car accident.
If Kelly didn't have bad luck, she'd have no luck at all.
Kelly's life is on a downward spiral. She is desperate for cash. Not just to feed her family, but to feed her bad habits.
Hey, Kelly.
Hi.
Hey.
Trauma and grief affects people differently.
Nice stuff.
In Kelly's life, it affected her badly. She abused drugs and alcohol to cope.
What do you think?
I think you're looking good. This stuff's okay. We can do
Kelly makes extra money by selling stolen goods to an old friend, Eleftheros Eleftheru,
This jacket, real leather.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
known to all as Terry the Greek.
40.
Oh, Terry, it's worth at least 200.
Terry the Greek was 50 years old. He owned and operated a pizza shop. Hard-working guy. People liked him.
Because you are so sweet.
He didn't do everything right, but what he did do right, people appreciated.
60, huh?
Once lovers, the relationship is now strictly about cash.
Bye.
He was kind of the go-to bank for her. Whenever she needed a 20 here, 50 there, whatever she needed, she would go to him and ask him for the loan. And you know what? He liked her. They weren't dating, but he'd lend her the money anyway.
Kelly catches the eye of a new man. 27-year-old Bill Gribble. They have a lot in common.
Sure enough, Bill's an alcoholic, dope addict.
It's not long before they move in together.
Very, very sexy.
But some couples would be better off if they never meet. On the night of November 12th, 1992, Kelly asks another favor of Terry.
Money, Terry.
She goes to the pizza shop to borrow some money from Terry.
I'm sorry.
You got something to sell. What about this? I get some for this.
Okay, I'll leave it with you, but I want it back.
Yeah, right.
I can pay you back the money.
When?
Tonight.
This time, she leaves her leather jacket as collateral.
Later sounds okay to me.
And she says, you know what? Let's meet up later on tonight so I can pay you back the money and get my leather jacket back.
It's the kind of exchange they've made many times.
I look forward to seeing you. Later.
But tonight will be different.
They ended up back at her place. And that's where the nightmare begins.
Philadelphia, 1992. Kelly O'Donnell makes a living with her strongest assets, her body and her wiles.
Got some more stuff.
With drug and alcohol problems, Kelly's always short of cash.
60, huh?
And she often turns to her former flame, Terry the Greek. In November 1992, Kelly borrows cash from Terry on the promise of a good time.
Kelly lured Terry back to her apartment with the promise of sex.
But that night, Kelly changes her mind. She's not repaying her debt with sex. She's defaulting permanently.
Her life had been such a cesspool of dysfunction, really. Men had routinely let her down her whole life. That when she took that hammer out and she began to wail on Terry with it, the rage just started coming out of her and would not stop. Every man in her life who had ever done her wrong, that was a blow to Terry's head.
After 20 blows, Kelly's revenge is interrupted.
You gotta get this body out of here!
Her new lover, Bill Gribble, doesn't call the police.
Okay, buddy. Okay,
He helps her. Terry is brutally bashed, but might have survived had the couple let him. Kelly isn't cutting into a corpse. Terry is still alive.
The pain and agony he must have went through, but not only that, knowing that he had helped this woman. He had dated this woman. He had had relations with this woman. And she's chopping him up.
It would be very apparent to the killers that he was still alive. Because as they made the cut, the blood would continue to pump out of the vessels. It would pump with every beat of the heart.
The events that led up to this murder didn't happen overnight. It was a series of catastrophic events that had been in the making for decades.
Then Kelly makes the cruelest cut of all.
Here comes really this disgust, this rage, this hatred she has for men in her life. She cuts off Terry's private part.
It's uncommon enough for a woman to kill a man with a hammer and then cut him up. But to mutilate his genitals, highly unusual. The fact that she did that tells me she was specifically angry at Terry and men in general.
Kelly and Bill dispose of their victim like trash on a Philadelphia street. Kelly keeps his wallet.
I could let him with his credit card and just blow it.
What kind of person can do that? What kind of person can dismember somebody, stuff them in garbage bags, dispose of the body, and then take his credit card and go shopping for your own kids?
Killing for some people is rather easy. Spending their money afterwards puts a cherry on the sundae.
Kelly and her boyfriend make a fatal mistake. When the body parts are found, the killers have left a telltale clue in the trash bag.
No one said she was a smart killer because inside those garbage bags, along with body parts, was some postage addressed to Bill Gribble's mother, who owned the apartment building. So it was easy to track her and Bill Gribble down.
Within days, Kelly and Bill are under arrest. Kelly confesses, but later recants and blames Bill. The court blames both of them. In June 1993, they're convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to death. On appeal, their sentences are reduced to life. Kelly O'Donnell is presently incarcerated in the Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution.
Unlike some killers who do things like that, Kelly was not insane. She was not out of her mind.
This woman grew up in a dysfunctional world, and sooner or later, she was gonna explode.
She wanted to vent the rage she had for Terry and every other man in her life that had disappointed her.
These three women thought nothing of taking a life. Gun Britt Ashfield's sick imagination led to her little boy's murder. Edith Klump torched her lover's wife. And Kelly O'Donnell carved up an old flame. These deadly women took the lives of those who did them no harm. They killed without conscience.